Wherever Adrian Lin is in this world, I hope for two things. First of all, I hope that he's safe. And second of all, I hope that he's flattered. I hope that he's flattered at the fact that year after year after year, people are trying to tweak, trying to dip into the secret sauce that he had with his breakout film, Fatal Attraction. Fatal Attraction was a huge hit when it came out years ago. It had phenomenal performances by Glenn Close and Michael Douglas. It went on to be nominated for multiple Academy Awards, amongst other awards. And here we are in 2021, and I am still referencing it because directors and writers are still trying to dip into that secret sauce. It's kind of like in music where you see songs being remade, songs being used in remixes, and I get it. Why should film be any different? But these other directors, as much as they try, they just don't have that recipe. The latest movie that is attempting to dip into the secret sauce is a movie called Fatale from director Dion Taylor. Now, I will say, I've been a little harsh with Dion's movies in the past because they usually give everything away in the trailer. I'd like to think that he might have checked out one of my reviews because he's cleaned up his trailer, and it's actually probably one of the better trailers that he's presented. Now, in this film, we meet a couple of characters. First, we meet Derek. Now, he is in a marriage that he is struggling with because his wife isn't being very affectionate with him. He's feeling that she's distant. And then he decides that, you know what, he's going to this bachelor party in Vegas. One thing leads to another. He meets this lady named Val. And they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and Val and Derek engage in a one night of what the kids might call the boom boom. Actually, nobody calls it the boom boom. Anyways, fast forward to, I don't know, a couple months later or what have you. Derek's back at home with his wife trying to work things out. And then they're the victim of a home invasion. No laughing matter there. They're a victim of a home invasion and he's fighting off this intruder. The police need to be called in to investigate. And wouldn't you know, the lead detective is the same woman that he had the one-night stand with back in Vegas. Awkward. So this movie now kind of shifts because the detective is like, oh, wait a second, you're married? Did you just get married like yesterday? Because you weren't married in Vegas, were you? Oh, things are about to get awkward for our friend Derek. Now, the first 2/3 of this movie are pretty good as we're watching Derek kind of navigate and weave his way through this. And from a thriller perspective, not a bad movie. The problem is that it's like the writing room kind of gave up on the last third of the movie because it went from being kind of an interesting film, and let's see where this goes, to collapsing into a state of completely nonsensical. Like I said, they want to dip into the secret sauce recipe, but they just don't know how. This is one of those films that had a theatrical release depending on what theaters look like in your city in late December, and now it's available for streaming. And I would say, as you're scrolling through what to check out, you might want to keep going past this one. It's something that we've seen, we've been there, we've seen it before, but it just doesn't measure up to the classic that it is blatantly trying to steal from. There are elements of this movie, like I said, in the first 2/3 that are entertaining, but you need a complete package, and this film just does not deliver on that. I'm probably going to do a classic review for Fatal Attraction because I think it's a movie that if you haven't seen, you definitely need to, and we should talk about it. And why not? Because last year we had A Fatal Affair, and before, I mean, we've had so many different films that are trying to, steal from this whole concept. And sometimes you just got to go to the original. Remakes are great, but give me the original Purple Rain. At the end of the day, I give this movie a C. If you have the chance to see Fatale, which of course is a take on the femme fatale, as well as a take on Fatal Attraction, shocker. Let me know what you think. We can chat about it. And I'd love to know what you think if you do see it. But again, a C for me on this one. Thanks so much for checking this out. My name is Keith, and until next time, I'll see you at the movies.